Chain of custody is the documentation that the officer fills out during the administration of any drug toxicology test. It is a paper trail that shows who had control of the evidence and when. It's important in legal and forensic situations to make sure evidence is handled properly and can be trusted in court. The chain of custody is all about keeping clear records of who touched the evidence and when, to make sure it wasn't tampered with or changed. Here is an example of the paper chain of custody specifically for law enforcement. It's designed to be simple and easy to fill out. Let's take a closer look at each section. Section 1 is separated into two parts. The first part will include your agency's name, the collecting officer's name, the case number, and the confirmation that the device has not expired. The expiration date will be on the outside of the device packaging. If your device has expired, please dispose of it and use an unexpired device. The second part includes the subject's name and date of birth. These are two very critical points of information for the lab. Lack of this information will cause the device to be rejected at the lab. In Section 2, the collecting officer will note the date and time the collection took place, along with a few simple instructions for administering the drug test. Let's go over these instructions. 1. Rub the swab over the subject's cheeks and gums. This stimulates the production of saliva. 2. Place the swab underneath the subject's tongue for an additional 90 seconds, gently biting down on the swab stick with their teeth exposed. This prevents them from sucking on the swabs. 3. Remove the swab stick and place the swabs in the tubes on the side of the device. 4. To let air escape from the chambers, slowly compress the swabs down into the device until it is locked and flush with the top. If the swabs are not locked properly, there will not be enough saliva to run along the test strips to get a result. Once the test has been administered, place the device on a flat surface and set a timer for 5 minutes. If all of the control lines and the result lines appear within those 5 minutes, the whole test is negative. However, if the control lines have appeared at the 5-minute mark, but the result lines have not appeared, don't worry. It could take up to 20 more minutes for the strips to resolve. But we'll go over that in greater detail in another training. Section 3 is completed once the preliminary screening has finished and you can review the results. Advice. Please be careful and double check your work before completing this section. If after 5 minutes all of the control lines appear and all of the drug strips yield a negative result, disregard Section 3 and confirm the results in Section 4. In Section 4, you will mark whether the device indicates at least one presumptive positive appeared and is circled in Section 3, indicated with the checkbox marked yes, or no, that it did not have any presumptive positives by marking the checkbox no. Then add your signature to the chain of custody, and the chain of custody form is complete. In order to properly prepare the test for the lab, you will need to label it correctly. When you initially open the device packaging, there will be barcode stickers with a space for the subject's name, birth date, and testing date. The collecting officer will need to fill out that sticker and place one on the device and one on the chain of custody form in the big blue box. The officer can then place the chain of custody form folded up in the evidence bag along with the testing device, seal it up, and either ship it to the Western Slopes Lab or email account managers at keelmed.com to get a free return label. Thank you for watching this training. If you have any additional questions, please reach out to your salesperson. We are happy to help.